And it's my privilege to introduce our speakers today and get them started. There are a couple of housekeeping rules here. There is a sign-up sheet going around. I apologize. The speakers asked for that, and I wasn't prepared for that, but hopefully we can wing it. You have at your chair there an evaluation sheet. We would like for you to take a few minutes sometime afterwards before you head out and give us your feedback so we can improve this. I was an attendee last year. I thought it went very well, and then on the Small Business Committee, we do go back and critique them and take your suggestions and input, and we'd like to do that again this year. But we're going to talk about process management this morning. I hope we're all in the right class here. And our speakers this morning are Deborah Wallace, Tom Pryor, and Gary Harlan. And take it we're all with UT Arlington with Business Assistance Program. So with that, I'll let them introduce themselves, and we'll get started here. So, Tom, I think you say you were going first. So. Good. Okay. And what we would like to do is hold the questions to the end, and we'll have about 5 minutes for that. But Tom has to leave early, so if you have a specific question for him, he'll, I guess, tell you when he's about ready to wrap up. And let's try to keep it to questions. I've heard, a lot of times we're in a session and you have about 2 or 3 minutes of commentary and then the question, but in the interest of time, let's just try to keep it as germane to the question there. Tom, glad to have you here.
Yes, it's good to be here. I'm the director of the Small Business Development Center for Enterprise Excellence, and you'll see what that means in the next about 10 minutes that I've allotted for this presentation. I want to keep it short and to the point, and how it can apply to you as our speaker this morning encourages each to take away at least one idea. That's our objective, as you walk out with one of those ideas. But brevity is important. I recall the story about in Dime Box, Texas, a lady's husband passed away, so she called the newspaper in Dime Box. There is a Dime Box, Texas, by the way, if you've not been there. And she asked, can I put an obituary in the newspaper, because there might be some people that want to know about my husband passing away. Editor said, sure. And he said, that's $1 a word. And there was this pregnant pause, and she said, okay, Billy Bob died. And he said, I'm sorry, ma'am, but there's a 7-word minimum. And another pregnant pause, and she said, okay, Billy Bob died, white pickup for sale. So it did take a lot of time to get across the point. Our objective is to help small businesses to grow profitably. That's what all 3 of the organizations we're going to share with you today do. And I kind of got a subset of that is we help people create a job instead of looking for one. Not everybody is equipped to be a small business owner, but a lot of people are. And that's one way to create growth and also result in jobs, not only for that person who starts a new business, but to help them to grow and to grow profitably. We're a specialty center funded by the SBA. Our services are already paid for, is what I prefer to say. What that means, it's free. Our funding comes from the Small Business Administration, a little bit from the state of Texas, and we are there to help organizations, and especially entrepreneurs, but existing small businesses, to grow and grow profitably. We help implement, and we specialize in what's called the triple bottom line. Some people call it sustainability, some people call it the green movement. It is a huge movement, as I'll share some statistics, that no matter what your politics are, I think we're all capitalists, or at least I am. I want to tap into a growing market as opposed to one that's on the decline. And the sustainability market is rapidly growing. Now, if you don't know what that is, I'm going to paint a picture for you. Recall the story, a lot of kids went back to school here in Texas, a couple of weeks ago. First grade teacher gave the assignment to the kids to kind of get the education process rolling. So she asked every one of them to just draw a picture of anything they wanted to draw. She walked around the room looking, making sure everybody was doing something. Walked up to a little girl named Sarah. And she said, Sarah, what is that you're drawing? She said, it's God. And she said, well, nobody knows, Sarah, what God looks like. She said, in 30 seconds they will. So my goal is in 5 minutes you'll know what green is. Green is a great opportunity to tap into. It's a rapidly growing marketplace. There are 63 million adults who are committed to living a lifestyle that's green. and sustainability. That's a lot of people, as well as it's a $230 billion market and growing, as opposed to on the decline. And I'll let you do the math. If you only got 0.5% of that, that's a lot of money to tap into. Third point, we help entrepreneurs create their businesses. And I'm big on one-page business plans, one-page cash plans, one-page marketing plans. Doesn't mean it takes a shorter amount of time. It takes a longer amount of time to write a short speech than it does a long one. So I emphasize to the people that we coach that I want to create a one-page plan, because in reality, to a lender, to an investor, that's all they're going to read. So don't think you're doing a better job by creating a 35-page document. So we take them through that process. And we often will, whether it's an entrepreneur or an existing business, we want to get to pique their interest, realizing there are a lot of green opportunities in the marketplace. As some examples, we're working with, click through, a green window washer. Existing business, it was a part-time initially, but then he got laid off. A lot of the people we work with are in that situation. And he put on his little brochure that he made, which was good. Windows by Greg. I said, so Greg, what do you do with windows? He said, well, I clean them. I said, that doesn't come across. And so now he's changed it to Clean Windows by Greg. But I said, what kind of solutions do you use? And he mentioned them. I said, that's what my grandmother used. Those are non-toxic chemicals. You ought to be presenting yourself to the marketplace as a green window washer. That's what he's doing now, and he's growing, hiring people.
Vinegar, Tom?
What's that?
Lots of
Yeah, vinegar, sure. And good old hand soap, green liquid soap. We're helping a CPA. You might say, well, why do CPAs need help? A lot of CPA firms are laying off. There are a lot of tax breaks, things that CPAs, if they specialize in knowing what those are, they can set themselves apart. It's all about finding a niche. I try to help people find a niche that's profitable. You might say, well, niche kind of sounds like it's small. It's not. I read the daily blog by Seth Godin, who I believe is, if he's not the best person in the world when it comes to marketing advice, he's certainly one of those. And he shared a story a couple of weeks ago about a gentleman who just passed away. Therefore, it's an opportunity for any of you. This gentleman wrote a weekly newsletter sent out by electronically on Ferraris. He had 5,000 subscribers, and he charged them $130 a year to subscribe. Doing the math? $650,000 a year. Staying at home, sending it out. And do people who are interested in Ferraris have money to pay the $130? Absolutely. He found a niche. Okay? We're trying to help people identify a niche, especially in the green marketplace. Green wedding planners. Some ladies came in and said, we want to plan weddings. I said, you ever thought about a way of setting yourself apart? Well, and make it a green wedding? Who's interested in that? And I introduced her to Dana that I work with. When she has a wedding, she wants it to be a green wedding, using recycled materials, being environmentally friendly. A niche.
Tom, tell them real quick about that corn syrup made utensils, plastic utensils.
Yeah, there are utensils made out of corn. Recycled cups are available, so are plates. They're all available here locally from vendors, as well as certainly on the internet. So you can have a totally environmentally friendly and have recycled bins at your wedding or your showers. And you might say, well, I'm not sure I want to do that. There are a lot of people who do. And if you're in business, tap into that market. Working with a janitorial supply company in Mansfield, almost all their materials are toxic. We introduced the idea of how about making some environmentally friendly janitorial materials. She said, well, who will buy them? I said, there are a lot of companies that are building LEED buildings, LEED certified, which I'll share some statistics on that in a second. And some of the points that building owners can get is by using non-toxic green materials. You can tap into that market. We're working with 2 green churches. There's a number of people who are interested in attending not just a green business, but a green church. And in fact, I've got a green Bible at the office. They've highlighted all the references to the earth in green. Okay. You might say, well, they would do that? Yes, because there's a market for it. Green Collar Vets, we're working with this as a nonprofit organization. As the name implies, what do? They're helping veterans create green jobs, living wage jobs in the marketplace, like installing solar panels. We're working with a lady that's created a green Angie's List. Anybody use Angie's List to find vendors? I do. She's got it niched. She only is going to list people who provide products and services that are green. And last but not least, green lead contractors. All government buildings that are being built today, and that's about all the buildings that are being built, are all LEED certified. Go to the next one. We've teamed with Gary Harlan, who will introduce himself after myself. He and his staff realized that there are a lot of contractors who don't know what LEED is and therefore what the opportunities are. And so we're working with Gary as well as TMAC to educate general contractors and contractors to the great opportunities that are out there when it comes to LEED certification.